Welcome to another rolling review with Wheelchair 21. Today is a first, I believe, for my channel, as I'm going to actually review a high-grade Gundam kit. It's from the Build Fighter series, and it's actually the two kits of the Wing Gundam Fenice, which is piloted by Riccardo Fellini, and his Meteor Hopper support unit motorcycle. Now, you can see that these box arts are wonderfully designed with just amazing details and graphics just on the box cover alone. The Wing Gundam uses the support unit in the background, and then they just carried it over and brought it to the actual separate case. It's weird that they issued these out separately compared to how other mobile suits in the Build Fighters lines actually have their boost or support unit with them, and then a special release of a separate edition. But overall, they just decided, hey, this is already big enough because it's literally just a over-modified version of the Wing Gundam, and we're just going to have to put this Hopper unit separately. Well, first off, with the Wing Gundam Fenice, or Fenice, however you want to pronounce it, I believe the correct term is Fenice, as heard in the show. You can obviously see that the color scheme is white, yellow, green with the red trimming. Now, all the blue is removed, and as such, this really embodies the colors of Italy, since, you know, Riccardo is Italy's champion. Some cool features, though, about this white plastic is it's very dull. It has, like, a weird sandy shading to it, which has, like, a weird pearl lighting to it, and it looks great. It actually caught me off guard, and at first, I didn't kind of like it, because I didn't really notice in the show that it actually had such a different white polish finish than most basic Gundam kits. And overall, though, I've come to love it. I mean, I love the dark, like, Everest green. It really makes this thing stand out a lot more. And the fact that it doesn't have the normal type of V-wings on its helmet, the fact that it has, like, these weird green feathery designs sticking out each side, and deep inside its helmet, which you can barely see due to the very small stickering of a basic high grade, it actually, on the box shows, it has two different pupils, which actually makes it more alluring, more attractive, and more mysterious. And as such, this does lose the capability to become the bird, like the original Wing Gundam, but with the loss of its transformation, it does have awesome new accessories, like how its new shoulder pad actually can shoot out a beam Matadorian cape that can be used as a shield. How its wings are now also going with the whole cape motif and just makes it look more elegant on this one side than on both. It does get a little loose, a little wiggly, but that's just how the joints are built. You also have on the back a actual holster for his beam saber, which it does tend to fall out a lot and easily. His beam rifle. The beam rifle is literally based on the original Wing Gundam beam rifle. It can go in either hand. It actually can separate because it's actually a double beam rifle. I believe the show also could do it as well in the original Wing Gundam series. I barely ever saw, Hiro Yui actually separate the rifle, except when he got the Wing Zero. So maybe Fellini, and if the series continues on, he'll actually, upgrade to, Wing Gundam Fenice Zero, which would actually probably be an awesome idea and design. It probably looked great, vastly different, and just capture us with awe. The basic points of articulation are in its bicep, shoulders, abdomen, neck, hip, leg, and foot and ankle. It's really has several points. I mean, there's double jointed like knees. The hip has a swivel joint, where if you move one side, it'll move the other, depending on which angle you turn it to. The knees are kind of loose at how they bend and swivel, because of how the thrusters also connect into it on the back of the legs. I personally just love how the motif is. I just hate that I'm going to have to go in there and fine-tune it with a Gundam marker because of all this missing black trimming and fine lining. But overall, really great features once applied. Now, the gun can go on the Meteor Hopper, and to also display his cool beam weaponry, the Matadorian-like cape, it just easily slides right into the shoulder panel. And the actual cool part about his lance and saber is it clips onto the back of his forearm. I love it. It's great. And it's really awesome. It just really shows the whole style of being like a naval officer or an imperial soldier of the old Spanish, Italy, and Europe regime of how it used to be like in the Renaissance and such. The beam saber comes apart to apply his beam and to place in said hand. Probably what really allured me, because I do like rapiers. The weapons are awesome. I'm huge into fencing because of the speed and the elegance that is portrayed within each fight, each match. The beam saber is quite large, and it's amazing. It's very, very hefty. It doesn't really stay snug in his hand. It does wiggle because of its circular design. But overall, worth having and amazing. Amazing features nonetheless. Especially how the actual cape actually has some fine tuning at the tips. For his actual Meteor Hopper, the cool thing about it is its wings and side paneling actually come out, but in the show it barely ever opens them up, except to, like, I guess, move around turns, and as such, it has thrusters. It has little blaster units in the front of the helm. It also has its actual wings and panels to, I guess, help it glide better, because even though it's mostly known for being a cycle, it can actually be used for space travel. It has been shown as he used it for re-entry into Earth during the Build Fighters initial preliminaries. And when you don't have this attached, it's very, unbalanced, so you gotta have the kickstand always out to really display the figure. I think the biggest thing about this is that there's no real fine-tuning you can put on this, except a little bit of basic black etching in there to make it look a little bit nicer. The colors are great because it's basic Gundam white and this nice lime green, which really actually was the first thing to catch me off guard, as this was the first thing I built. And I was like, whoa, I'm wondering why it's a completely different plastic than the show. But then rewatching the show, I found out I was mistaken, and it was a completely different color to begin with. The peg plugs into the ass. Yes, it does, like all mobile suits. It plugs into the ass. Now, I've already connected the actual beam rifle to the front of the Meteor Hopper, which actually, as you can see, is a little bit weighted down because the plastic is not locked in as well. It doesn't really stay in tight and functional. Overall, it looks great, though, once you have the actual Wing Gundam applied and sitting and well seated on the bike. It's really cool, really great. I've actually tested it on Figuarts and other small 5-inch, 6-inch figures, and it works quite well. I mean, it works mostly and only with Gundams, because they have that little hole in their ass that actually can place them onto the seat better to keep them well equipped and in on this motorcycle, so they don't get caught in the wheels when trying to position them. Personally, I was never a fan of the Wing Gundam series, but I was always allured into the original designs for the actual suits from the series. I personally like the Wing Gundam itself as its original form, not the Zero, not the Endless Waltz edition, but the basic one. And to have seen it, retooled and have this wonderful, beautiful green coloring, and now be a Matador, a Spanish-like soldier, an Italian, royal. It was really just great. I liked it. It just really had a very vibrant and sense of royalty put into it, of class and of things, of yesteryear. It just is a style all in itself that I was attracted and allured to. It is the first high-grade Build Fighter series kit that I got. And I'm glad I got it. It's really worth building. It's really worth having. The Meteor Hopper is great, too. They're cheap and affordable. You can find them on places like AmiAmi, Amazon, HobbyWave, HobbyLink Japan. and there are many other sites out there that carry these things. Overall, really worth having if you are a Wing Gundam fan, if you are a Gundam fan in general, or if you really just love build fighters. And I insist that you should get these high grades, because for a lot of people, this is a good thing to start with, and they're easy. They're just easy to build and easy to construct. Anyways, now, you can check me out here on YouTube, follow me on Twitter, and check me out on Instagram. They're all linked on my channel, so all you gotta do is just subscribe, and the information will be right in front of your eyes. Also, I insist for you to check out Hirotaku.com and Raijo Nihon. For when we're not reporting the news on the website, you can always hear it on our plentiful assortment of podcasts, like Anisatsu Podcast, Morphin Bracers, Ultracast, Unichronicles, and WRW. And I insist for you to go check out The Visible Ninja personally if you want to see more high-grade Gundam kits, because he is the man behind the Gundams.